Good morning. Welcome to the Native News Today. Jason Salzman along with Gerald Wofford. As always, we thank you for joining us this morning on, Jason, our number 40 show program of the Native News Today.
The big 4-0, man. 20 times 2, 40. I remember looking back when we did the 20th episode, we'd look at one another and be like, oh my gosh, it's the 20th episode. We're getting old. Now you look at 40 and we're just still going. It's really a special treat to be here for the 40th episode and still be going with all the great Native American stories.
And we appreciate you, the watcher out there, who has made Native News Today so popular out there, you know. And when we say this humbly, you know, Jason, we get a lot of comments from people that we meet at some of the events we cover, and even just from day to day that, you know, watch the program and really appreciate that there's a Native American show out there that spotlights positive Native American stories.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, anywhere we go anymore, you know, people are saying, hey, we love the show, man. You guys are doing a great job with that. Keep it up. And it's at the Choctaw premiere, actually, and we'll be highlighting this that event on this week's issue. But it's out there, actually. I saw a couple guys that said, hey, you guys doing a good job. We like watching you and Gerald on Saturday, so keep up the good work. So we know you're watching out in Oklahoma City, and we appreciate that. We're going to keep it going, and we've got a lot of things lined up for this week we're excited about.
And as Jason mentioned, we know Choctaw country, that's not exactly up here in northeastern Oklahoma in the Tulsa area where we first started the program, but it's a little further west, more in the Oklahoma City area. So we know that we have a lot of Oklahoma City watchers out there. And we just welcome you on. We know that you've been with the program for the last couple of months and really appreciate your attendance to our show here. Well, you know, to pull out a phrase that we kind of used from day one of Native News Today, we feel like we got a very entertaining, enlightening, and educational program.
Man, I hadn't heard that in a while. You pulled that one out of the vault there on us.
Well, as you mentioned, you and Jared Moore went down to Choctaw country because there was a big event happening down there last week. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Valerie Redhorse is commissioned to do a documentary for the true Code Talkers. Now, they did it over the Choctaw Code Talkers that weren't so much representative in the Wind Talkers movie that came out a few years ago. I know everybody got all hyped up about that and everything, but you talk to those people and they say, hey, you know, this wasn't the real story. There's a lot more to tell. And 16 Native American tribes in the state of Oklahoma were involved in the code talking that saw the Americans through to victory in World War II. And a lot of that was used initially in World War I, and they picked it up and knew that they had something going there that could really throw off the enemy. So big job by the Native Americans to do their part in the American service. And, you know, as Gerald, we looked at it and said it many times before, per capita, there's no other ethnic race that's put more people in military service than Native Americans.
That's right. And just to even add a further note, at that time when World War I was taking place, which was 1914 to 1918, when the U.S. entered the war in 1917, the American Indian was not granted U.S. citizenship until 1924.
No, you fought for the country, wasn't able to vote. But you know what? That was that warrior spirit. They just wanted to go over and prove that they had something to fight for, and they obviously did. Even though they didn't get recognized by their homeland, they still knew it was their homeland and it was worth fighting for. So got to give that recognition to those brave souls.
That's right. So we'll have that news story here for you, as well as some others too that we'll be bringing to you here, all on the Native News Today.
It's here. It's hot. And it's only at Creek Nation Casino in Muskogee, the ultimate treasure hunt, and it's going on now through April 1st. A Suzuki Boulevard motorcycle, Chevy Silverado truck, and $20,000 in cash prizes are up for grabs, and 20 lucky winners will find their own pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's all happening right off Highway 69 in Muskogee.
Creek Nation Casino, where OK comes to play.
You know, Jason, we have so many good stories here. One story that we want to share with you right here at the beginning happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma last week, the annual Festival of Words event that is held at the Tulsa City County Library. You know, it's mainly a celebration of Native American culture. It happens every year at this time, and just congratulations to Teresa Runnels, Native American program. They're doing a stellar job with that.
Yeah, we've talked to Teresa several times and kind of coordinated with them a little bit, getting a lot of the things that they do there at the Tulsa Central Library, because you're right, they do so many things to highlight Native Americans and Native American culture, and what a great place to do it right there in the city of Tulsa, where the Creek Nation was founded and established their homeland right there in, and then it was Tulsa Town, TVLSE was the actual spelling then, but some things change, some things always stay the same, and that's the way it is at Tulsa Central Library with the Festival of Words.
A lot of things happening this morning here at the Tulsa City County Library. The Festival of Words ceremony has gone on this morning, and there are Native American demonstrations in beadwork and art and storytelling, and as you see in the background, the kids here are learning some crafts as well, and we're talking with the coordinator here who makes it all happen here. That's Miss Teresa Runnels here, who works here at the Tulsa City County Library. Teresa, it looks like another successful event. You got to be happy with all the people and just everything going on.
Yes, we're very pleased. We have a very good turnout in all the programs, and so we're very pleased with that.
Now, you had a special award that you gave away this morning for an author. Tell us a little bit about him and why he was the recipient of this award.
Yes, this year was our author award, and we honored Carter Rivard. He's an Osage Indian, and just the works that he has given is, the committee really have liked his work, and then they also like the fact that he is involved with his tribe and with his community. So that was another factor that they looked at.
Now, this event happens all day, right? And as I mentioned, a few things happening here on this floor. Kind of just give us a brief overall of all the stuff that's been happening, that's going on this day.
Yes, this is a 3-hour festival. Immediately after the author ceremony, the Festival of Words began, and we have it on 3 floors throughout the Central Library. We have programs for adults, programs for kids, just all ages. We have storytelling, crafts, cultural demonstrations. Right now we have hand games going on in Aronson. We've had author, illustrator programs going on. We have historical programs going on. We have street dancers coming this afternoon. So we try to catch a little bit of everything. We have businesses have come to set up booths to promote their businesses, and we have just try to get a little bit of everything. And we have food concessions here too.
Well, I know they had some great Indian tacos down there, so a lot of things going on here at Tulsa City County Library today. Teresa, we appreciate your time, and as always, a very successful event.
Thank you.
And our thanks to Teresa and all the good people at the Tulsa Central Library, the Festival of Words. Always a great event and a great institution there. They always take their time out to recognize the rich Native American heritage in the city of Tulsa and the state of Oklahoma. And they'll keep up the good work, and when they do, chances are we'll be there with the camera in their face. But we'll also be a lot more places, Gerald, because a lot of things are going on in Indian country, and we like to keep people advised on that here on Native News Today.
Jason, you know, one of the many perks of this job, and I use that definition loosely because this is a lot of fun really to do, is we get to venture all over Indian country. And one special area we always like to visit is Choctaw country.
Absolutely. The Choctaw people with a very rich, proud culture, tradition, and history. And you look now in modern day and their business ventures, their cultural preservation, the proud things that the people carry within themselves of the Choctaw culture still lives on. And you can recognize that in any Choctaw you see now. And it's so refreshing to go around to the other tribes in the state of Oklahoma and see how they are carrying those traditions, and they are caring about what happens in their tribe. And not only in the present day, but they care about what happened in the past, and to get the whole truth of their past, their ancestors, and their history. And me and Jared Moore ventured over to Oklahoma City to the Oklahoma History Center this past week, and all kinds of tribal dignitaries were out. You talk about Chief Greg Pyle, religious man Bertram Bobb, who, if you know the Choctaw Nation, you know Bertram Bobb, and his family are very ingrained in the history of the Choctaws. And all kinds of dignitaries were out for the premiere of the Choctaw Code Talkers documentary, and that was commissioned to do by Valerie Redhorse out in Los Angeles. She's a filmmaker out there, and brought her production team in. They did a little documentary on the Choctaw Code Talkers, and they were able to premiere it at the Oklahoma History Center, and we were able to catch up with Valerie, talk about her past ventures into the filmmaking world, this present project, and some of the things in the future, and where the industry is going. And we were also able to talk to Chief Pyle and get some of his thoughts on this very, very special occasion. We were very glad to be a part of history last week at the History Center in Oklahoma City. Hi, we're here at the Oklahoma History Center getting ready for the premiere of the Choctaw Code Talkers story, and with the director of this piece is Valerie Redhorse right here with us. And Valerie, very glad to be visiting with you today.
Oh, I'm glad to be here in beautiful Oklahoma City. It's great today.
Straight in from LA. Valerie actually landed about an hour ago, and getting ready for this great event. And Valerie, being Native American and being able to tell such a wonderful story, I know had to be a labor of love for you and your crew.
Well, it was a labor of love and just such a great experience meeting the people, the families of the Code Talkers, and working with the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Everyone involved just really stepped up and helped us because, you know, this is a story that took place in 1918. So it's not like we could just go talk to people about what happened. It entailed a lot of research, really digging through archives of family photos and family information, and coming here and just really kind of peeling the layers of the onion back. And as a director, writer, producer, it was a tough gig, but so worth it. And we're just really proud to be here. And it's not done. We're a work in progress, hoping to get a larger project done. But we're very excited tonight to show it for the community.
Absolutely, and you touched on it a little bit there, but the amount of research that goes into a project like this, and I assume that when you start looking at the story and how wonderful of a story that it is, and how vital it is that you tell that story, and it must be so much research that you need to do because you want to make sure and get everything involved, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can't do a nonfiction documentary and get your facts wrong. I mean, that's just rule number one of a documentary filmmaker. But what we found was that we'd find a fact that would then lead to a lot more information that we had to then research all those other pieces of information, and we kept getting information that was so fascinating. Like, we're standing right here in the Oklahoma Historical Cultural Center, and one of the gentlemen who works here is an expert on World War I, and he told us, you know, the Code Talkers helped shorten the war, and it was the war to end all wars, and more men were killed in that century from that war than any other war. And here we're products of like the Vietnam War and the Iraqi War, and we think what's going on is horrific, which it is, but we had no idea, and they were gassed, and then our Indians went over, our Choctaw men who were not citizens, and helped shorten this war. And most of us on the crew had no idea. And so we started to think, probably most Americans have no idea. And then we started to realize all these other facts started surfacing, that the French recognized them with their highest honor because they recognized how much they helped. The French were probably devastated more than any other country in World War I. So they really realized the contribution of the Choctaw. And we just, you know, it kept leading to more and more research and more fascinating facts. So it was actually very thrilling, but you're absolutely right. A lot of
All right, we're here with Principal Chief of the Choctaw Nation, Mr. Greg Pyle. And Chief Pyle, this has got to be a great event for you and the Choctaw Nation as a whole to finally be able to tell this story of these brave, brave men that did so much for the tribe and the nation during a really, really tragic time.
Yes, actually, it was a very big honor for the Choctaws to be the first Code Talkers, World War I. We're just now being recognized because they were asked after World War I not to divulge that secret, and they didn't until the late 60s, 1960s, when it started coming out. And so we're going to Congress. We've already been up. We almost got a bill passed. Congress didn't pass hard bills this year, so we'll go back next year and try to get medals for our people.
And you think about this whole process from a long time back, and something was done here before too at the Oklahoma History Center where you guys were able to look at some of the old archives and the footage when they first brought it up, and that was a very emotional time for you guys to be able to look at those things and remember.
Yes, the Smithsonian was here along with the Oklahoma Historical Society. Very, very good exhibit here for almost 30 days. It's moved on now from state to state. very, very proud of the heritage and really proud of the men that served in World War I. We've Native American as a whole, as any other group in the United States, volunteers heavier during times of war than any group of people in the United States. We're very proud of that fact. One of our generals that come up and speak with us let us know that information. It was really, really nice to know that.
Absolutely. You look at per capita throughout history, no race has ever put more men in the military service than American Indians. That's just a fact. And I know it's great to be the chief of the Choctaw Nation every single day, but days like this, you got to swell up with a little more pride than usual.
It really kind of gives you chills just to be able to come up here and be among the people and know the history and the culture of not only the Choctaws, but all Indians, because they all have that same unique thoughtfulness for the Mother Earth, but also the idea that during times of crisis, they really rise up more than any people on Earth.
Well, Chief, I just pulled you aside here for a second, but I'm gonna let you get busy enjoying this night. It's for you, it's for the Choctaw people, and we're very glad to be here and be a part of such a special event.
Well, we appreciate it. It's for Choctaw, but all Native American people. We really appreciate your coming out, and thank you.
And our thanks to the people at the History Center and the Choctaw Nation for allowing us to be part of such a historic event. And Gerald, another historic event that took place this past week with one of our Native American people out there is with Jason Nicholson, and a story of redemption, really, and now he can get on with his life.
That's right. Jason has been featured in previous shows here on the Native News Today. He is a former fighter as well as a promoter here in the Tulsa area. Recently, he was cleared of first-degree manslaughter charges in the Tulsa City County Court. Got a chance to talk with him the day after that verdict was reached, and as well as his attorney, Mr. Zach Smith, in this candid interview. All right, we're here on the Native News Today. We want to share a special story with you this morning of redemption, honor, dignity, and just overall a good feeling here. I'm talking with a good friend here, Mr. Jason Nicholson, who last night the jury in Tulsa County found him not guilty of first-degree manslaughter. And Jason, I know this has been a trying time for you and friends and family, everyone involved here, but it was just it's just a story of redemption for yourself, because justice was served last night.
Yes, sir. It sure was a long time. 2 years and about 5 months of in court, out of court, attorney changes, and just finally got the right fit, though. You got the right fit and ready to go.
The whole experience, I mean, it's an understatement, I know, but it's had to really been trying for you. I mean, like you said, it's been played out over 2 years, just so many things going on with it.
I don't know how anyone else could. You really can't describe it. A lot of people are like, if you just walk a mile in my shoes. This is 2 years, 2.5 years. And it's a long time. I've had to put a lot of things on hold in order to get this thing done. I had to put a lot of things on hold. I was living in Kansas City at the time. I had to move back here, so what I was doing there was also placed on hold. So kind of put my life on hold there, brought it here, and put it on hold until this was done. And now it's done, and I can take Indian Promotions and do what I need to do with it.
Now, I want to ask you more about Indian Promotions here very shortly, but keying back on everything that was going on, did you even think that all the stuff, the road ahead here, all the stuff that was going to happen, did you even have, your lawyers, I know, were talking with you and saying, hey, we're in for a long haul here and things were going on, but did you even kind of just, wow, all the stuff that go on, did you even think about that, what was going to go on with everything?
No, because I still haven't even felt. It's one of those things when they're saying, it really hasn't sunk in yet. I know it's over, and I have, that's off my shoulders, but just the fact that it's over, it hasn't hit me yet. But I'll be glad when it does. I'll sleep real good, probably tonight.
Well, the jury certainly played it out for a long time before they allowed you to know. It's over 9 hours.
11 hours.
11 hours.
11 hours.
You were waiting there at the courthouse, I guess, and just waiting on or what?
We were in and out. We got tired of just sitting around and playing the waiting game, and that's never fun anyway. The waiting part's the hard part. The end result is the end result. If they'd have came back and said, hey, you're guilty, I would do whatever I'm supposed to do. But I felt like it was going to be a not guilty. And speaking with Zach and the other people that are with me, we all pretty much felt the same way. We were just trying to find what's the holdup. But the jurors, man, they had a tough job. They had a tough job, but they did their job the right way. And you know, even if it went the other way, as much time as they took to deliberate, it just showed me that they were actually thinking about it. It wasn't just to go back there and just make a rush decision and do whatever hey, you know, we got to get home. It's Friday. They took their time. 11 hours to say not guilty.
You know, most people out there don't like to even have their picture taken, and let alone be on video camera. But every night it seemed like your face was there on 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock news, and all the time and everything. And you saw that all the time and everything. I mean, how did you just deal with this added exposure?
It was actually tough to deal with on one hand. On the other hand, you know, I try to drag Zach in, let Zach get some airtime too. But for the most part, you know, just kind of pick up and go do your thing. I'm a normal person, just like anybody else. I think I was kind of bashed a little bit in the media, but other than that, you know, they're trying to create stories and trying to make things happen. So, well, what else do? You know, I'll go to bed at night, get up in the morning, and try to get the rest of it behind me.
And we want to thank Jason Nicholson for giving us that interview, and just wish him the best in all his future endeavors.
That's right. Certainly a new chance in life, a new opportunity.
Absolutely. That's what we're all about as Indian people. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to wrap everything up. You're watching Native News Today.
You know, Jason, I don't want to tell my age here and how many years I've been here, but through the many years that I have been here, there's been one gentleman that's really been part of the establishment here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. I'm talking about the District Judge Patrick Moore, and recently he was honored in Tulsa.
Yeah, you talk about a powder keg of Creek Nation, just historic information. The guy just got it coming out of him left and right. And if you want to know anything about the history of Creek Nation, or where this came from, or where what came from, or where this is located, you got to ask Judge Moore. And recently in Tulsa, last Saturday, he was honored from the Tulsa Indian Native American Law Club there at the TU. I'm not really sure the name of it, but he was honored by that club there for the things he's done and the monumental changes he's made throughout Indian law over the years. So we were glad to be able to show this honoring of Judge Moore.
They've selected me as the honoree tonight. There will be dances all evening. There will be a gourd dance approximately an hour from now, at which time I will be the honored. I'm honored because of contributions to the Indian law of the state and the nation, contributions to case law, etc. of the United States, and overall contributions to improve the legal services to Native Americans in this country. When I arrived earlier this afternoon, the gourd dancers were, of course, dancing. They were honoring other people. The gourd dancers are warriors. It's a warrior class. Many times outsiders will be admitted into the gourd clan if they have been in the military service of the United States. You will notice many of the gourd dancers will have military decorations on their shawls or blankets and different talismans that they use. Some of them, we've noticed one here today that has an eagle head on his staff, and others have different things, eagle wings, hawk wings, and things of that nature. But as they go through the gourd dance, part of the time they're riding their horse in from battle, and part of the time they're resting, etc. And it tells a story to those people who are familiar with the gourd dance.
All right, that special event there honoring Judge Patrick Moore, the Muskogee Creek Nation. Jason, Judge Moore, Jared Moore, any relation there?
I think they might have crossed paths before a time or two.
That's right, that's right. We're just kind of doing a little off-camera ribbing there to our member of our communications department who helps make the Native News Today a success each week. That's Jared Moore. Cameraman, director, producer, extraordinary.
Everything. He even runs and gets his coffee in the morning.
That's right. And eventually he'll be getting us some wild onions too, because it's March right now, right?
Yeah, you know it. I don't eat them, but I'll go because all the other stuff that you get to eat with them.
It's kind of like, I mean, you've been around it, but you just haven't ate them.
Well, the thing is you ever look at a wild onion dinner and like you look at the wild onions on the menu, but you look at everything else and you're like, golly, I don't even got to eat the wild onions, man. Chicken and dumplings, Chattahoochee, beans, salt meat, fry bread. Okay, I got to go. I'm going to take this mic off. I got to step out of here and go get some of that stuff.
You know, you mentioned Chilahaaga.
But I better stay.
But, you know, for a lot of people out there, too, they like Chiladaga. You know, they like the chili and, you know.
Telling you guys, this guy's,
you know.
He's going places with his comedy routine. He's going places.
But, hey, again, thank you for watching us today, and we're going to keep on venturing out the highways and the byways, finding all those great Native American stories. But you out there, you can contact us here and say, hey, I got a good story here for you. We'd love to put it on the TV. That's all we want to do with it.
Absolutely. Everybody do your part to make sure that we don't leave anyone out. We want to get all the stories out there that are going great, that everybody has great things going on. I know you do in Indian country, so just call us up and tell us about it. You can get a hold of us by 3 different methods, actually. You can get us by our phone at 918-732-7638, or you can reach us by fax at 918-758-0824, or you can reach us at our emails at jsalzman@muskogeenation-nsn.gov or gwofford@muskogeenation-nsn.gov. There's the contact information. What do I always say? It's off my hands.
But Jason, what if they come in with a big pot of wild onions or something?
Oh, okay.
You know,
Well, yeah.
Well, you know, they won't say no.
Absolutely.
We'll say, come on in. You know.
Come on in, take a seat. Where's the fry bread? Pass the fry bread.
Make sure that you do bring that fry bread, because, you know, that's one thing, too, that we're going to be reviving since the spring is here, the search for the perfect fry bread again.
I'm going to have to, man. I got to get my galoshes on. No, wait a minute. Spring. Never mind. Okay, I'll get my gear. Okay, I'll get my gear on though. What I'm saying is, I got gear. So, because I go out into some pretty rough places out there, you got to get through the sticks and everything.
Becomes the Rambo of fry bread hunting. Man.
I got to.
We'll be out there.
I'm coming for you, fry bread.
That's right. Hey, thanks for watching. In the meantime, take care. God bless. We'll see you soon.